Start this morning with the latest on the funeral for Pope Francis. The Vatican announcing more details this morning. It is going to take place on Saturday. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin is joining us from Vatican City with the very latest. And Geneviève, good to see you there. The Vatican sharing details of how the faithful in Rome and really around the world will get to say goodbye to their Pope. Let us know what's going to happen over the next few days and then on Saturday.
Well, this is really a set of ancient rituals and traditions which has been set into motion. So we do have more details just this morning about how this will unfold. There was a meeting of cardinals that was held to set out the next steps. And those include, of course, the viewing that we've been talking about, the lying in state. But the headline, of course, is that the funeral will be held at 10 a.m. here local time in Rome, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And that will be held at that moment. And then the body will be entombed at St. Mary Major in the city here. Now, what will happen unfold will start today. There will be more viewing of close personal people close to the Pope. At the moment, he's at Casa Santa Marta. He will be there until he is moved at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning to St. Peter's Basilica, where the viewing of people will start, where the faithful will be called upon to pay their last respects to the Pope at that particular moment. As I say, this is a set of rituals that is there for centuries. It has been in place for so long. But there are small little tweaks, of course, because of the wishes of the late Pope, who wanted certain aspects of it to be more personal, a little bit less grandiose. For instance, he wants to be entombed at St. Mary Major, which is a basilica which really means a lot to him. It's a place that he visited before all the trips, the papal trips that he had to take, and then when he would return, he would be there. And we're told also that when he did become Pope on March 13th, 2013, at that day, he actually snuck out and actually went to pray at St. Mary Major. So it had a special place in his heart. He wanted to be entombed there. He doesn't want anything very fancy for his for his casket, which is something that no one will be surprised about, because we've been hearing since yesterday about his humility, his desire not to be flashy, not to use the robes and not to use the fancy aspects of the papacy. And so he has asked for his casket to be very, very simple and just has Franciscus written on it, and just be of simple wooden casket.
It's interesting that you mentioned that meeting, because, of course, the cardinals are tasked with protecting the rights and the rituals of the Catholic Church, but also honoring the wishes of the late Pope. Yesterday when we were checking in Rome and in Vatican City, people's reactions were of shock and surprise because they had just seen the Pope on Sunday. What's the mood like in Rome right now?
Well, people have been flocking here from around the world. It is absolutely crowded on St. Peter's Square. People from everywhere gathering here to pay their last respects. A lot of people of the church, of course. A lot of the clergy have come here. We're seeing a lot of people in habits and their vestiges and their clothing. But there's also all sorts of other people from other religions as well who have come to pay tribute. I think that the shock has worn off a little bit. Indeed, there was that shock because the Pope had been at St. Peter's Square hours before his passing, and so certainly that first reaction of shock seems to have faded somewhat. Now people sharing a lot of their memories of what they really felt brought the Pope close to them. The People's Pope, many people have called him, and just their reactions to the fact that his mark, what he brought to the Church, and the window that he opened onto making changes within the Catholic Church, a window that many people say did bring fresh air into the Church, that some now are thinking about whether that window can now be closed. What will be the next steps here?
And that is what that tension that people are holding, both saying goodbye and wondering what comes next. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin, who is live in Vatican City for us this morning. Geneviève, thank you. We're going to send things over now to Lindsay with the rest of today's news.